Welcome to the podcast, everyone. I am Mayra with Soul Science Hypnosis, and I am super excited to invite Jerrica, who just recently, earlier this week, had a session with me. Welcome, Jerrica.
Hello, Mayra. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I mentioned that we're just going to be sitting here gabbing, right?
Right.
We have a lot to gab about. So why don't we just start with, why did you want to have a session in the first place?
I wanted to have the session because I was curious. I've been doing a lot of spiritual learning, spiritual growing, just kind of getting away from what I grew up with, the ideals and ideology of Christianity. And I knew something more was out there. I always questioned it, but I didn't want to test the waters. But recently, I've been listening to podcasts, reading books. My friend is a psychic. I've always been fascinated with psychics. But I delved a little deeper when I heard about past life regression, and I'm like, well, wait, what is that? And I didn't know that we had past lives. I knew that there had to be more to this world or more to living, but I didn't know that we had past lives. And so I started digging a little bit deeper and deeper. And then I was like, well, you know what? I think I want to have one. And I didn't think that I could be hypnotized because I don't know.
Everybody
Yeah,
thinks that. And they're wrong.
that is
Right.
true. Yes, that is true based on experience. But yeah, so um and I did my research. I had somebody else in mind, but they weren't doing it. So I did more research and I found you. And so I was like, you know what, let me, do a little bit of background research on her, not background, but just research on her and listen to her podcast and go through Instagram and just really not figure you out, but just kind of um, get to know you a little bit better through
Yes.
your platform. And yeah, so I wanted to know more. I wanted to see if it was possible for me to be regressed. And yeah, it
Yes.
was possible.
And it was possible. Yes. So we're going to be sharing a little bit about your actual session, the lifetimes that were shown to you. You really connected with a lot of your family, your current
Yes.
day family. There was
Yes.
instant recognition. So that was really cool. But I also invited you on here because you had such an interesting story. I find you such an inspiration, right?
Hmm.
You have to know that you are an inspiration. It's like for everyone that wants to give up those jobs that are just like the ball and chain, like pulling them down.
Hmm.
But you're on this autopilot. I got to keep working. I need the money,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And what you did was so brave. And I can't wait for you to share your story. So, why don't we start with that,
Yeah.
because oh my gosh, I was just so blown away by your tenacity.
It wasn't easy. And I did a lot of wrestling with my higher self. And I know I gave you the analogy, about the Holy Spirit touching, I think it was Jacob's hip. And so he could stop wrestling with him and go do what he has to do. And, but yeah, so I was listening to a podcast that had mentioned, why don't you wake up every day and ask your higher self, your spirit team, source, whatever you call it, and just ask them, what is it that you need or want me to know for the day? And if you hear a loving, gentle voice, listen to it. That is your higher self. That is your team or your source or spirit or God speaking to you. Okay. And I wanted to try it, just like I said, I've been interested. It's very intriguing to me. So I'm like, let's see if it'll work on me. So I did it for 4 days. And the first day, I got the message of you are loved. And the second message I got was love and do not judge. And then another message that I got was love without conditions. Like, okay, and it was just coming in gentle and loving, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like in uh like a sequence or whatnot. But it was together. It's kind of hard to explain. But another message I got was great things are coming and you will do great things. Another message I got was trust yourself. And then another message I got was enjoy the journey. Like, okay, I'm loving this. I'm okay. And then the final message, it was maybe the fourth day. I know, it sounds all everywhere, but some of those messages were together. Oh, some of those messages were together. But the
Yes.
final day, I got up in the morning and I asked, what is it that my higher self wants or needs me to know for today? And it said, quit your job. I was like, wait, what?
And that is a whole other vibration. It's like they came in with flowers and kisses every day, the most amazing.
Chocolate. Yes, it was awesome. And then all of
And
a sudden
then
it's like,
bam.
quit your job. I'm like, wait a minute, you know what reality I live in, right? But I've also learned that we create our own reality. What we think of, what we choose to believe, the things that are feeding us from social media or things like that. We create our reality. So I'm like, wait a minute, this is the reality I was living in at the time. And I was like, you know what reality I live in? I have to have some type of money. I mean, I have 4 kids, I have 3 dogs, I have, a domestic rat. It's my daughter's. I have a boyfriend. I have a household that I have to maintain. Like, I can't just up and quit. That's crazy. And so I was wrestling with this. I've been learning to listen to my heart more rather than my mind, because I've been taught that the heart can be deceiving. Since I knew that the heart could be deceiving, or I thought that the heart could be deceiving,
Where
I
did you
would,
learn that the heart can be deceiving?
I want to say, the Bible, but not in that terms. It was more
Yeah,
of the religion. And I'm
sure.
like, okay, they always want you to don't follow your heart, follow your mind.
Wow.
Their mind, the ego, the mind, you know, makes logical solutions or thinks logically. But that's another story. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm wrestling with my mind, I'm wrestling with my heart. I mean, they're going back and forth. They're having their own battle. And I kind of put it off. I'm not gonna lie, I stopped asking my higher self. My higher self was,
Yeah.
first of all, you're crazy, because ain't no way. But I just stopped and, like, I stopped asking, what my higher self wanted me to know for the day. And a week later, um, that same voice, that same feeling came to me and said, quit your job.
It's interesting how it said quit your job, not look for another job.
Hmm.
That quit your job means action,
Hmm. Absolutely.
not
And
planning, action.
exactly.
Yes.
And I am an action person, but I like to plan things ahead of time. Like, if I'm going to do something, I need to have A, B, C, D. Because if I don't, then I have to have that plan. I have to make sure that things are in order for me to take the next step. And so again, that voice comes back to me and it says, quit your job. And the same voice, the same feeling, everything. And I'm like, I don't know that, I'm wrestling back and forth again. And something happened to me where my right hip hurt, like, just one day out of the blue, just started hurting extremely bad. I don't know what it was. I was limping. And again, I always resonate this story with that story with Jacob and the Holy Spirit. And I told my sister about this, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" But anyway, but I feel, well, a couple days went on that my hip was hurting, and then again, I was at work. I was at the job that my higher self wanted me to quit, and again, it's that same voice, that same feeling. Quit your job. I'm like, okay, Spirit. If this, you know what? If Okay, I will quit my job. I will quit my job, but I need confirmation. So if this is you, I'm going to text my sister, see if she's home, and I will walk out of this place right now. Literally not like 2 or 3 minutes later, my sister texted me. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, all right, okay, wait a minute.
Show me another sign. It's like, we just need more signs.
Because like, it's the ego, it's the logical mind,
Of
because you don't
course.
want to just walk off and have a plan. But I'm like, okay, all right, let me just text her, because I said if she's home, I will leave, I will walk off this job. And I'm like, she texts me and she's like, hey, sorry, because I had called her the previous day. Hey, sorry, I was busy yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. I said, hey, are you home? She was like, yes, but I'm going to take mom to go to the community center in 30, 45 minutes. I said, okay, that was it. That was it.
That was it.
And right then and there, I knew that I needed to leave. And I went around, and the people who I've built relationships with, I told them thank you, and, that I appreciated them for helping me and things like that. And they kind of knew something was, kind of going on. And I got my things and I just left. And when I left that building, I was like on cloud 9. I was so at peace. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I had listened to a podcast that had said, when you are worried, or when you are when you're trying to figure something out. No, was it a podcast or a book? I think it was a book. It was a book. I've been listening to so many podcasts and reading so many books.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a book that said, when you are worried, or when you are trying to figure something out, or you're just, everywhere and your emotions are everywhere, stop what you're doing and go do what you love. Because in that moment, when you do what you love, or you do what you enjoy doing, you raise your vibration. And those answers will come to you when you're doing something that you enjoy doing, or doing something that you love.
That's right.
Because you're not focused on it. You're not trying to figure it out. You are trusting that the universe is going to bring you those answers, but you're still doing something that is raising your vibration to receive that. And that's what I did. I went to my sister. I spent some time with my mother. We took her to the community center. My sister and I talked. We can talk for hours. We can talk for hours. And then my niece was supposed to come visit me that previous Sunday. She was there. I was like, oh, okay, family reunion.
I love that.
But yeah, it was, the whole day, everything was just flowing. It was just a nice flow. It was amazing, actually. Yeah, it was real. It was good. I didn't have a plan.
Wow.
But I
So
trust.
yeah, you quit your job, you had kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have rent due. You've adopted these kittens, which I think these kittens that you found, I think that it's also a healthy distraction for you while you're quick. It helps with you not worrying. When you're in the presence of animals, they were put there to help you heal through this. Okay. I really feel that. I didn't say that to you, but I'm saying it now. So you've got all of this with no plan. It's like, what are you going to do? Yeah. That was very brave of you to take the leap.
It was very, I will say it was hard, but it didn't have to be. It did not have to be hard. I made it hard on myself, because what our higher selves, our spirit team, source, they want you to trust. They are there for us. Trust.
That's
and
right.
Know that whatever you're going through, or whatever they're telling you, they're telling you because there's something better. There's always something better, but we cling on to what we know, because we don't want to let go, because it's what we know. And it's like, okay, well, I might not get anything better than this, but you will. Yeah.
So, Jerrica, when you mentioned that your right hip started hurting, that the higher self communicates through the physical body. And the hip obviously is connected to the legs,
Mhm.
right? So when you have discomfort or pain on the right side of your body, that is your higher self trying to deliver a message to you. The right side is now, like more current. Left side is past. Okay.
Okay.
Past and left side could also be past life.
Okay.
Okay. And Dolores Cannon's daughter, Julia Cannon, wrote an excellent book. And it's honestly, I use it all the time. It's kind of like my little Bible that I use to accompany the QHHT sessions that I conduct to help understand why we have disease, why we have aches and pains, right? And the higher self starts very gentle. It'll, you know, it's like, wow, all of a sudden you woke up and it's like, what is wrong with my hip, right?
Oh yeah.
That is connected to movement. Movement. And
Action.
so, yes. So it could be your right hip. It could have been your right knee, right? It could have been your right foot, like all of the sudden. Another example where people wake up in the morning and they're like, oh my gosh, what happened to my neck? You know, you feel like, did I sleep wrong? Do I need a new pillow? But when they give you that pain in the neck, it's interesting how we get that pain in the neck and then it's gone, right? But what it is think about what the neck actually does, right? Yes, it kind of supports your head, but it also allows you to move and look that way and that way. So that could be, what are you not seeing? What aren't you looking at? Or it's trying to get you to see things from a different perspective. Right?
That's definitely a good way to see it.
Yeah. The higher self is very, very literal, very literal. So, yeah, I found it really interesting and I wasn't surprised at all that your right hip started hurting because it wanted you to do what they were saying. Listen to us.
You know, it's funny. I got that same feeling some weeks back, literally at the same job, like that same hip, that same pain.
Yeah.
And I had did some stretches. I don't think it was that night. And then the next day, the pain was so faint, you barely even knew it was there. I was like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So,
wow.
I mean, and I appreciate you telling me that because I was reading something about that too. I think it was just scrolling or something like that, but I saw it and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But you going into more detail about it, you know,
yeah,
it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
And for those listening, the book is by Julia Cannon and it is called oh my God, what is it called? It's Julia Cannon and it's called Soul Speak, the Language of Your Body. It's tiny. It's a thin little book and it goes through, you know, kind of the whole anatomy, the bones, the digestive system, what, you know, why certain things happen, the reproductive system. And yeah, I use it as a tool. I usually throw myself into the table of contents to get there quicker. It's
Absolutely.
like liver. What does liver mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That may be on my that will be on my book to get next. I have a list. Oh yeah.
There you go. All right. So you're still not working.
No, but I do have an interview tomorrow.
Okay. Yes. And what I want to remind you of what your higher self said, do something you love. Yeah.
And I definitely have been doing that. Like little things make me happy. I mean, I love going to look at model homes just to dream, you know, like, oh, this could be me, or this is, this is my daughter's bedroom, and this is your daughter's bedroom. My boyfriend comes with me. I love going to Dairy Queen and getting a Snickers Blizzard extra Snickers with a pump of chocolate. Like that just makes me happy just to enjoy that. Like, oh, I know it may not be the healthiest thing, but it makes me happy.
Yeah, it does make you happy. And your higher self brought that up. And it's like just to savor that
Mhm.
first bite.
Yes. Going to
You
look
are,
at
yeah, you're in that present moment and it's like, yummy.
yes, yeah.
Yes,
So I have been doing things that I love to do, looking at furniture, grown up things.
sure.
And just things like that. And I feel like my vibration has increased. I feel like I've been more mellow. Um, I had yesterday my ego was going to town, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So, no, I hear you. I think it's always best to acknowledge the ego. Don't shut it out. Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Be an onlooker of what it's telling you, but don't give into it. But I had to go talk to my higher self, like, hey, my ego's acting out. I trust you. I know that you know what's best for me, and I'm gonna trust you. But I just want to let you know my ego's acting out. But after I did that, it calmed down a lot. It really did.
It's funny to actually name your ego and give her a name. If you can choose a name for your ego, what would you call her?
The first name that literally came into mind was Helen.
Helen. Yes. Give her a name. Okay. Because it's like, oh, Helen is on one today.
Yeah, like,
Because
all
you
right,
want to
Helen.
separate it as much as
Hmm.
possible. It's like, that's
Hmm.
not me, but it is you, you
Hmm.
know?
Exactly. And as you told me, we need the ego. Um, we need the ego, but at the same time, we need to grow from it, but also trust our higher selves too. Because our
Yes.
higher selves knows what we need. And so just trust. I love that. Just
Trust,
trust.
trust. Right.
Yes.
And trust is not here.
It's with
Okay. Yes, it
it's
is.
with
So
your
we're
heart.
going back to that first comment that you said. It is here. This is where spirit talks to you
Oh
in the
yeah.
heart.
Mhm.
So, okay. So your session, it was last week, right? Or
It was last Friday.
yes.
Well, this
Okay.
past Friday.
All right. So we're going to talk about your lifetimes. You were able to see 3 different lifetimes.
Hmm.
And I just want to do a little check-in, how you've been since your session.
I've been wrestling with it's like it feels like it was made up. But then if it was made up, why do I why does it feel like a memory? Thing.
Mhm.
And I've had to explain. I think I've told like 2 or 3 people about my past life, well, my experience being regressed, and I told them if it was a dream, dreams fade. You may remember like certain things
That's
for dreams, but you wouldn't be able to remember, or some people might, but me personally, I don't remember detail after detail after detail like that. So it feels
right.
like a memory, and
That's right.
I think back to it. I continue to think back to it, and I just keep thinking back to it, not in a bad way, but just kind of learning little things from it, especially the last life that I saw, and I really feel like the last life resonates with this one, but breaking that pain of being stuck
Mhm.
and not feeling like I'm able to move, but I have the opportunity to move now and do what I want to do rather than be stuck.
Sure.
But yeah, but I'm good
That's right.
though. I'm really good. I
And
think
that's
I've
just
been
Helen acting out. By the
yes,
way.
absolutely.
It is
Goodness.
very normal too. That's one of the things I always tell my clients after when you wake up, your ego begins to wake up and she or he will have an opinion
Mm. Oh
about
yeah.
this experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That wasn't real. And what you need to do is just go back to the emotions that you felt during your session. Your animals are adorable.
I'm so sorry.
It's
She wants me
okay.
to she wants me to throw this. It's not even her toy, it's my boy's toy. I'm so sorry.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Yes. So your ego will chime in and have an opinion about it. And I always tell everyone, okay, be ready to be louder. You need to be louder than your higher, I'm sorry, not your higher self,
Ego.
louder than the ego, and just say, just stop. You have no business giving your opinion on this. This was a wonderful experience and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you can really struggle with that. But just go back to the emotions of how these lifetimes made you feel while you were seeing it and feeling it. The ego can't make that up.
Mm-mm. Oh no.
Right?
Oh
No.
no.
Yeah. So that's all normal. So
Hmm.
in your first lifetime, this was a lifetime where your sister, your current day sister, was your sister in that life as well.
No, it was my best friend in this current life
Oh,
who's
got you,
my
got you.
sister in that life.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. And you lost your parents in that life, and it was more of like a sort of a Western
Yeah, like
timeline.
dirt road. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, like the beginning of, you have the wagons, and then you had the dirt road, the general store, the little shops, the
Mhm.
boots, high
Yep.
tied up boots and the bonnets. Yeah.
Yes. And you were really happy to get married in that life.
Yes. Yes. I still look for that person today.
Yes.
But
Isn't
just
that
the features and the connection that I had with that person, I knew that he loved me unconditionally, especially not being able to have children in that life. And I was ashamed of that, but I did not have to be ashamed of that, like, because he still loved me regardless.
right?
And I look for that. I mean, I look for that.
Okay. Of course, of course. Yeah, we all want that.
Don't get me wrong. I love my boyfriend that I have now. He's
It's
great.
okay.
I I don't want to assume this like, oh well, does she have a boyfriend? I have a boyfriend, yes, but I mean,
Yeah,
I love him dearly, and he loves me as I am
sure.
as well. It was just that connection that I had with that person in that
Yeah.
lifetime that I look for, and and if I can't find it,
Mhm.
then I can't find it. But I'm still going to love my boyfriend as he is too.
Sure.
But I miss it.
Yeah. And so why do you think, because I did ask the higher self why it showed you that life, but um, why do you think they showed you that particular life? Besides seeing that your best friend was your
I
sister,
know.
that's always
I
fun.
Yeah.
What do
She
you
she
think you
told
learned about
she told me I told her about it. She was like, "Oh my God, we were sisters. I knew it." I was like, "I know."
it?
But honestly, to stick to those who are close to you. I mean, me and her were close in that life, especially in age and what we've been through, kind of that traumatic experience with our parents.
Mm,
Um, Things happen. You know, things are happening for you, not to you. And so when we look at it from a perspective of, okay, well, I need to learn something from this. Um, I see it as be close to those who are close, who to your family members, to be close to those who are close to you.
mhm.
Just make sure, not make sure, but just be open, and also be open to love. Even though you may have
Yeah.
lost, um, love always comes after that. I mean, I don't know if I'm sounding crazy here, but
No, not at all.
because
Not
I
at
know we
all.
lost our parents. We went to go live with
Yes.
our uncle, and then and then I found my husband, and his love for me was so unconditional. And I'm
Mm,
like, oh my goodness, like, know that that love is out there. Know that
yeah.
regardless of whatever tragedy you're going through, love will always win.
It always exists. Yes.
Always, always.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your second life, you saw a more indigenous lifetime,
Yes.
right?
That was actually my favorite.
Yeah.
So I still think about it. I
Why?
think
Why was it your favorite?
the community. Yes,
Yes.
the community. Yes, it was nice. It was awesome, especially with the kids. And I listened to the recording. The kids. I can still feel that joy that I had with the kids, them teaching me, or just letting their little minds say, oh, well, this could be this, and that, and just having their minds just open to just a totally different perspective. It was awesome. And then helping out others without having to feel that you know you you have to work. I mean, you had to, but not in a way that we do today. More because
Right.
it was more of a trading. I do this, you give me that, and I do this for you, and like that. And I love that
Everyone
because
took care of everyone.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. And I love that. It was just a big
Yeah.
community. Everybody looked out for each other. The men brought in the big game. The women, did their own thing. You would teach, the girls that were growing up, how to cook and how to take care of the family, or it was just things like that. And it wasn't. I didn't feel judged or anything like that. It was awesome.
Yes. It
Yeah, but it
was.
was really good. I love that. It was definitely
Yeah.
about community.
All right. And then the third one, let's see here. Egypt.
Yes.
All
And
right.
I feel like that one resonates with this life because when I was in that life, I feel like I was being groomed to work for the Pharaoh.
Mhm.
And um, I feel like in this life as well, I'm being groomed to work, I'm seeing that my mother is going out there breaking her back. I'm seeing that my sister is going out there breaking her back. Same thing with my brother-in-law. You have to work to get what you want. And I feel such a resonance with that life because it was like, I feel, when I grew up, I did the same thing. And I feel like I was trapped and I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere because I was groomed to work for the Pharaoh. And me and my
That's
dad
right.
had a great relationship. And, my sister in this life was my dad in that life, but we still had a good
Yes.
relationship. But I was always trying to make her proud. And I still feel like that. I still feel like I'm doing that today in this life. And, but I was so stuck and I couldn't move. I knew I had to provide for my family and I just did what
And
I had to
see,
do.
look how it mimics so
Hmm.
much of, yeah, what you're going through today.
And being
And how
able
you
to,
quit.
mhm.
You're like, I'm not doing this again.
Mhm.
It's almost a mirror. And that was really interesting
It's
that
like
they showed
breaking
you
a
that.
karmic cycle, breaking that
Sure.
cycle and trusting and being open and growing in my spirituality and knowing that my higher self, to trust my higher self, to know that they are there and to just follow, or ask, what I need or anything like that because I have that freedom to. Okay, well,
Sure.
what is it that I want to do in this life? I'm not in that life anymore. You told me to quit. I quit. What do I need to do? Take care of your animals, take care of your house, just be,
Yes.
just be. It gives
That's
me chills
right.
thinking about it.
Yeah. They have a plan all along. When they tell you quit your job, it comes with a blueprint. We
Oh,
don't see the blueprint, but it is there.
hmm.
It
It
is
is.
there.
It is. And we just have to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone commented when I was on a TikTok live, and it was, we were talking spiritual stuff, and just super random. Someone commented, I lost my job, and it was a surprise, because everyone was talking spiritual stuff,
Right.
and I just paused for a moment, and I knew the right where it just sort of flowed out of me, and I feel like I was just channeling for this person
Mhm.
that don't be sad. This is a pivot.
Hmm.
This is a pivot.
Mhm.
And when you lose your job, you don't know what's around the corner. Spirit does. Spirit does. And you are being moved because you were probably receiving those little hints: quit your job, leave your job, look for another job, and you don't. Right.
Mhm.
And then boom, yeah, I lost my job. Whether it's being laid off or being fired, there is something always around the corner.
Oh,
There
yeah,
is.
absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. And we may not know what it is, but the big thing is trust.
Yeah, it's actually an opportunity,
Yeah.
but we don't see it that way.
Because we're in that
Yes.
moment and it's like, oh my gosh,
What am I
like
going
what do
to
we
do?
do? Yeah. Because of how we've been, I would say brainwashed, but how we've been taught. And that we know
Mhm.
that we have things, we have responsibilities that we need to take care of. And so this is just shaking our world up, but it's for the better. It is a pivot. It's an opportunity for us to actually really maybe do things that we enjoy, or maybe really look at like, okay, well, I like to do this, or just things like that. Because our higher self is it is always talking to us, always, always,
Yes,
always, always. And we just ignore it and thinking, oh, we're crazy, or that's just that voice, whatever. That voice that's loving and gentle, that is your higher self. That is your
that
spirit team.
is.
That is source.
Mhm,
And they
mhm.
want you to listen because they know what's best for you.
Yes.
And I know it's hard,
Mm.
but listen.
Yeah. Listen. I have some of the things that your higher self, when it came to channeling, hold on, sorry, I'm shuffling papers.
Oh, no
Okay.
worries.
Yeah, so some of the things that I loved to hear your higher self say. Well, we talked about that. Do something that you love to do. Go to that Dairy Queen
Mm.
and savor that first bite. You guys, your higher self is they could be like, they really are your best friends. They really are. And the way they speak to you, they know you better than anyone, right? They know what you do every day. They know your habits. They know your strengths. They know your weaknesses.
Hmm.
So that was really sweet. Do more of what you love to do. Get out in nature,
Mm.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think you needed to be reminded? So many of us are feeling that push. Go outside, go for a walk, go get in nature. Why
Um,
do you ignore
because it's hot.
it? Okay, that
Hot.
too. Yes.
Um, and so my thing was, we're just too busy. We have so many distractions, and we're just too busy. And
Yeah.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
But you're really not.
No.
We have our phones and we have our TVs and our computers and things like that. But
Yes.
what is it, 30 minutes? What is it getting up 30 minutes just to go for a walk? It may not even be in the woods, or just in your
Yeah.
neighborhood, just to enjoy the earth that was given to us, or being blessed to be on this earth, and connecting with the earth and connecting with yourself.
Yeah.
Because even in those walks, you may have um, answers that come to you, and even in talking and
That's
talk to your
right.
higher self.
Yeah. That's
Talk to
right.
your higher self. I mean, I'm in the car going to where I'm going about an hour ago, and I'm talking to my higher self, and I'm like, oh, look, listen. And I'm just going and rambling and things like that. And I'm kid you not, I seen the angel numbers 888, and I seen another angel number 999. I'm like, okay, you're listening to me. You're here. Okay, very good.
Yes. Turn your
But
radios off. Really, it's
yes.
just, it's lovely to listen to music, but it's
Hmm.
also turn it off and just be present with
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You mentioned when you quit your job and you said goodbye to everybody.
Hmm.
What did the world look like when you stepped out of that building, my dear? You forgot to mention that.
I walked outside, and those colors were more vivid than ever before. I mean, it was when I was in that present moment, I mean, it was just everything was so clear. Everything was clear. My mind wasn't racing. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was when I say I was like floating in cloud nine, and that can mean like a whole bunch of things, but I mean, it was like I was literally floating, and everything was just bright, everything was beautiful. The green was greener, the sky was bluer, the colors on the cars were more vibrant. I mean, it was, my
Yes.
goodness.
And when you told me that, I instantly knew that once you quit your job, you shifted. dimensionally. You
Mm.
actually raised your vibration by quitting your job, and you're seeing the world through different eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That really is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. It was awesome. I get those
Yeah.
every now and then, but I mean that day, oh my goodness. It was just like I was
Wow.
radiating. I was radiating. Like my frequency was just through the roof. Oh my
Sure.
gosh. It was even talking to my sister. Me and my sister always talk about
Mhm.
spiritual stuff. Always, always, always. And not like in a going down the rabbit hole, but kind of like going different discussing our different experiences. And even when she was sitting there, we were in the car and I was telling her, I said, these colors look super vibrant. Oh my goodness. Like I was yeah, it was
Yes.
it was amazing. It was so amazing.
Mm.
It was amazing.
Your higher self also, one of your questions was, how do I contribute positively in the world? And an idea that you had was to plant seeds, but you live in an apartment. So it's like the seeds stay in the packet. And the
Mm-hmm.
higher self is like, take those seeds out,
Mm-hmm.
take them out, plant them anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
right? It
Yeah,
doesn't have to be on your property.
right. But
Yeah.
I will say this, I did take those sunflower seeds. I have magnolia seeds and then I have sunflower seeds. So I was getting ready to leave and I saw the packets on my bedside, and I'm looking at it, I was like, okay, well, I'll just take the magnolias because I love sunflowers. And I'll just take the magnolias. Someone was like, no, take the sunflowers. I'm like, dang. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I took the sunflowers and I didn't necessarily plant them like somebody who has a green thumb does, but I took them, I put them on my palm, and I was talking to my higher self, and I just kind of threw the seeds, just threw them, and talking to my higher self. I don't remember what I said, but I was talking to my higher self out of love, abundance, freedom, joy. It's like, all right, just throwing them out there. And after that, I was just like, okay, I planted those seeds with my sunflowers. But it was like I said, I love the
Yeah.
sunflowers, and I didn't want to take those. I wanted to take the magnolias, but because of my love for the sunflower, I feel like my love for the sunflower made it that much better because
Hmm.
I'm planting something that I love, that I'm giving back to nature, something that I love, so to grow,
Yes.
if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Oh, yes, yes. And I'm picturing, all the little bees that are going to benefit,
Mm,
from that sunflower that just came out of nowhere, but you
yeah,
planted it,
yeah. Even the little
right?
bugs on the ground and things like that, are benefiting. You know.
Yes. One of the things that I loved how your higher self, this is how she said it. We're speaking about getting out in nature. She
Hmm.
said, she knows she needs to get out there in nature. And then she says, she doesn't need to do anything. She has the desire to.
Hmm.
She just needs to put that desire into motion. Yeah.
That gives me chill. I'm like, she said
Yes. Once it's in motion, she'll realize that she's enjoying it. Just put one foot in front of the other. We get
that.
complacent. We do. It's like life happens. And there are so many distractions. There's no reason not to go for a walk. There isn't, right?
Oh,
It is probably best. It's okay. Don't worry. It's all right.
stop.
It's okay. No worries. It's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
Yeah, it's all
Stop
right.
it. Get over here. Get over here. Stop it.
You're all good. You are all good. Yes.
Okay.
So, desire. We do desire it, but we get complacent. We get the thoughts, I should go for a walk, but then I've got the remote in my hand, or yeah, or let me bake cookies, or yes. And so you just need to put it in motion. Drop everything you're doing. All good. They're the stars of the show today.
I know. I'm so.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're
Oh,
fine. It's okay.
I know.
There's a button called edit. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
There's
Great.
a button called edit. It's all good. We're fine.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
not live. We're not
Okay.
live. And even if we were, it's okay.
Okay.
So
Goodness gracious.
yes, desire, right? Putting it into motion. If you have desire, that's all you need.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So she was just kind of reminding you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the beginning,
Yeah.
um, it wasn't recorded, but you said go to that place as a child. It was like one of my favorite places, and that was one of the hiking trails that I used to go on all the time. And just being there, I could still feel like just being in that feeling. And I really
Yes.
carry that with me. I really do. And I thank you for bringing that up. I thank you for not making, but thank you for helping me to remember what that feeling
Yes.
is like, because I needed that. I
Mm,
really, really needed that. And I reached out to my neighbor. So we're
you
supposed to go
did.
hiking this weekend.
Ah.
We're supposed to, but yeah.
Well, tell everyone why you reached out to your neighbor.
So my higher self explained that um, I needed to get out. It's okay to be inside. It's okay to be home. It is okay, but if you have that desire to get out and do things, or being in nature when I was younger was one of my happy places. And I've been wanting to go for a while, but I've just, my neighbor, we share a lot of commonalities. And she'll ask me, hey, you want to go to the lake, or you want to go hiking, or you want to go for a walk? And I'm like, no, 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 I don't feel like it. And I just want to be at home.
Mm,
But remembering what that feeling is like to be outside, out in nature, and my higher self telling me, like, her neighbor has been trying to get her out and she's just not
yes.
doing it. I'm like, all right, I hear you. I hear you, higher self. I hear you. And so I reached out to her and I actually thanked her for being my friend.
Persistent and
Yes.
yes.
Yes, I did thank her for trying to get me out of the house and things like that.
Good.
And um and then I met up with her the other day. I had asked her a question about something, and but I sort of said, hey, where do you go hiking at? And she's like, oh, well, she told me where she goes. I said, well, you know what? I said, I want to go hiking. I said, I'm not going to say no. Just know I want to go. And she's like, okay, well, we can go this weekend. I said, okay. So we're supposed to go hiking this weekend, which I'm excited about.
See. Oh, that's
Um,
great.
it's going to either have to be in the morning or the late afternoon, because
Yeah, the
this
heat. Yeah.
don't
Same
want to die.
here.
Yeah.
Same
Don't want,
here.
yeah. Don't want to pass out from the heat, stroke, or whatever the case. Yeah. But yeah, so we're supposed to go out and do
Mm.
that. We're supposed to go out. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. You're listening. You are listening. See,
Yes.
there's the desire, just putting it into motion.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
I've been living in, this area for a while, and I haven't really gone out to really do anything like hiking or anything like that. I just been in the house.
Sure.
But that but being brought to light has really helped me to want to feel those things again. So if I'm ever in a panic or anything like that, or worried, or trying to figure something out, that's one of the things that, I mean, I'm telling you, I can't wait till fall. I just can't. It's
Good.
getting out there and being in nature and things like that. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited too. And I'm so excited that you have an interview tomorrow. And I'm sure that all the listeners are sending you lots of good vibes your way to find your way and to begin doing something that you love. right? Embrace that. And
Absolutely.
yeah, we should all have and be doing jobs that we love. We didn't come here to experience being miserable. We
Mm-mm.
didn't, right?
No.
The expectations that are placed on humanity, the 9 to 5, the 8 to 5, the 8 to 6,
Mm-hmm.
all of
Traffic.
that, clocking in, clocking out. It's really terrible. And I didn't get here, you know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to get to this point, to be doing what I'm loving what I do every day. But I have been in those jobs where it's like, I can't do this. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
you were telling your story, it reminded me of the time that I got fired when I was 19 years old. I got fired from being a dental assistant. I was the worst dental assistant ever. Okay. And I remembered going to Mexico with my family, and I got sick. Like, I didn't drink the water, but I might have chewed on the ice or something.
Mm.
And so I got that just terrible. I was throwing up and just so sick for days, and I couldn't go back to work. And when I did go, I missed 5 days of work. It was terrible. And I went back to work, and the dentist fired me on the spot. Okay. On the
Oh
spot.
wow.
I was devastated. I cried all the way home. And see, this is how the universe says, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got you. Because I don't even remember. I think my mom, this is how, like, so random. My mom mentioned it to my neighbor. Okay. And my neighbor worked at the airlines at LAX in one of the big buildings there for an airline called the Hawaii Express. And they used to, this is back in the 80s, okay? They used to take you to Hawaii, $79, right? Like, yeah,
Nice.
it was super cheap. They were called the Hawaii Express. And he said, he was head of HR. Hello, right?
Nice.
And I was, within days, I was working, at the airport, getting benefits, being able to fly. It's, yeah.
Nice.
And
That's
so,
awesome.
sometimes, like I said, if you get fired, if you get laid off, just trust. Don't try not to get too sad. There's always a reason for everything. You're just being moved,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
just being
Shifting.
moved.
It's a
That's
shift
right.
happening. And just go with the energy. Just go with that shift. It's gonna be okay.
It
It's gonna,
is.
yeah. I mean, it may be devastating in the moment, but something better is coming. There's always something better.
It
And
is.
not in a way to where, you want the most big extravagant everything. I'm sorry. Not in a way where it's just extravagant and big, but it's gonna be best for your soul's growth. That's what I'll
That's right.
say.
Well, I wish you all the luck in finding what you do love.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm really
We are
hoping.
your cheerleaders. We are rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so much.
thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate it. And just wishing you all the best.